Hey there, welcome to Crafting Unedited. My name is Sierra and today we are going to talk about making a t-shirt. So this is a very beginner project and something that I started out in the very beginning, and it's one of my favorite things to do. I love making t-shirts, and I have done a couple of videos where I'm making t-shirts as part of the tutorial, and I've done a t-shirt specific tutorial, but I want to dive in a little bit more and kind of start fresh with this since I've learned a lot more, and I want to help you learn a couple of tips and tricks as well. So today we are focusing on Cricut beginner projects, making a t-shirt, and that is what we're going to do. I have a couple of supplies that you'll need. You will need a cotton t-shirt. I use Hanes, I use Gildan, and Next Level are the three top brands that I will use for making my t-shirts. They are well known, good quality, they don't really shrink too much, and you don't have to pre-wash them. You can if you want. I don't like to because I don't know what type of sensitivity my customer has to fabric softeners, laundry soap, that kind of stuff. I know that I've got some pretty sensitive skin, and so do my kiddos, so I use very little fabric softener in anything that I do, but I don't like to, possibly cause a reaction to my customers. So what I do is I just take it right out of the packaging, give it a good shake, and my t-shirt is ready to be prepped. Sometimes if it has the label on it, I peel the label off, sometimes I'll pop it in the dryer, just give it a little bit of a fluff. But most of the time I don't, unless I can't get the sticker thing where the sticker was. There's typically like a little shadow behind it. If I can't get that off with just brushing it up a little bit, I will put it in the dryer, and that typically kind of alleviates that issue. So you'll need a t-shirt. Cotton works best for HTV, but you could probably use a cotton blend shirt. I haven't really done many of those. I know that some of the shirts for like the workout tank tops that I have are a cotton blend with a little bit of polyester and a couple of other materials into it, like nylon or whatnot. It's worked pretty well, but for those, you do want to make sure that you size up, because if it is a fitted stretch shirt, you put your iron on top of your shirt, and the person that wears it, it's a little snug on, it's going to pull that vinyl and possibly make it peel. So you want to size up on it. Make sure that you're pressing it really hard onto a flat surface. Just things like that you want to keep in mind. There are HTVs available that are for stretch. I will tell you from experience, Sizer Easy Weed Stretch is a no-go. It is the worst for some reason. I don't know. Maybe they fixed it, but the last time that I used it was the last time for a reason. I had made a mass order with the Sizer Easy Weed Stretch, and within the first wear, the letters were peeling off. I have no idea what happened, but I've had nothing but issues with it, so I just don't use it. I always tell my customers size up. And if they don't, I apologize in advance. All right, so shirt, you'll need some HTV. I use Sizer Easy Weed for pretty much everything. It's the best that I have found, other than a company that I use called JPI Blanks. I think that they have Sizer, and then they have a Starcraft vinyl as well. But Sizer's been my go-to. You can use coupons on it in most craft stores, or you can get it at JPI Blanks or on Amazon. There's just several different places that you can get it from, and it's so easy to get as well. It's accessible anywhere, everywhere carries it. So Sizer Easy Weed is the HTV that I use. Doesn't have to be. It can be matte, it can be metallic, it can be holographic, it can be glitter. But for a beginner project, I will highly recommend one color decal and using just good old-fashioned plain solid vinyl, especially if you're just starting out. Any solid vinyl will work, and make sure your image is just one color. once you get the hang of it and you know what you're doing, you can go into layering multiple colors, get into the holographic and the glitter and things like that. Reason being is those materials are a little bit more tricky. They're kind of more difficult to weed as well. And they have different temperature settings. I'll show you in my video, in this video right here, because I am making a shirt that has 2 colors on it. And my original plan was to just show you how to press Sunshine Daisies Crazy. But it wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense. So I'm going to go ahead and do the whole thing. So you can see that this is a holographic iron-on vinyl. How you know it's iron-on, because sometimes you can order sheets of it and it won't tell you what's what. The easiest way to tell if it's an iron-on or an adhesive vinyl is, you see this clear sheet on top of it? On the back side, when you touch the decal, it's not sticky. So I've already weeded all this. This is not sticky, and it's also not colored. So easiest way to tell is by this clear transfer. So it's actually called a mask. And when you weed it, you peel off the color, and the backside is usually a solid plain color. It's hard to tell with the white because it's white. But with this, it's pretty easy to tell what's what. I mean, you wouldn't put that on your wall, would you? So you can easily tell the difference between HTV and a adhesive, primarily because it'll have this glossy front on it. Here, I'll get a piece of adhesive to show you the difference. So this is a 12 by 12 sheet that I ordered. It's Oracle 651. And it looks kind of glossy, but then when you flip it over, Oracle's really great with labeling the backside of their stuff, so that's pretty cool. But it has like a paper backside. That's one really easy dead giveaway. You can't put a paper backing onto a shirt. It's not going to work very well. And then when you have just a piece of iron-on, this is what the sheet looked like when I opened it up. So it's two-sided. You have your holographic, and then you have your backside of the holographic. This is where the glue gets activated when you press it, so it's pretty cool. When you apply heat to it, it activates the glue. Pretty sweet, huh? All right, so that is, and then the press. It's really all you need. Shirt, press, or shirt, vinyl, press, Cricut cutter, design space. So because I've already gotten my decal cut, I'm going to explain to you the steps it takes to cut the decal. Primarily because I'm using one plug right now. My press table kind of is being used elsewhere for the moment. So in design space, you're going to pick your image. When you pick your image, remember, for a beginner project, if this is the first time you've ever used Cricut or a shirt, or done a shirt, not used a shirt. I hope this isn't the first time you've ever used a shirt. That'd be really weird. Anyway, so first time you've ever done a shirt, used HTV, used the Cricut machine, beginner. No judgment. Everybody starts somewhere, right? So use an image that is very, very simple. That flower that is on this was actually a full flower, and I cut it in half. But that would be a really good beginner project because it's one solid flower and it's super easy. It's not crazy detailed. You don't want anything with a whole lot of little details and things that you gotta weed out. Trust me, just do something super simple. Even if it's just a square or a circle, I don't care. Just, if you're up for a challenge, do something more complex. But my advice is go super basic. And what you'll do is you'll select the image. You'll go to Make It. I have a tutorial on this. So if you feel like you're a little questionable, go to that tutorial and come on back. But you'll go to Make It, which is in the bottom right-hand corner. Yes, right-hand corner. You'll go to Make It. And when you go to make it, it's going to take you to a new screen. It'll have you select your machine in the top center. It'll show you your image on a Cricut mat. And then over on the left-hand side, it'll have like a drop down, not a drop down, a sidebar. That's what that's called. With your mat and your decal on top of that. So you'll take that and you'll hit continue first. Sorry, don't hit continue yet. You'll hit mirror. Mirror your image. If you already hit continue, don't worry, you can do that on the next screen as well. Remember to mirror your image. This is the most important part other than preheating your heat press. Mirror your image, because if you don't, it's going to be backwards when you put it on. I've done it many of times. It's one of those things that you have to like ingrain in your brain. I rhymed. So mirror your image. Then you'll hit continue and it'll go to select your material. You'll select, typically it'll be under popular, or you can go over to the side. There's like a little search bar where it says browse all materials. You'll click on that. You'll type in everyday iron-on. For basic HTV, everyday iron-on works really, really, really well. So everyday iron-on. For what I used, that holographic stuff, I just typed in holographic and it came up with a whole list of holographic vinyls. And I picked the one that worked. I'll do a video on the holographic too for you. It's kind of the same process, but a little bit more in depth. So anyways, select your product, your material that you're going to be cutting, hit continue, and then you will apply your vinyl onto one of these mats. There's blue, purple, and green. There's also pink, which is for fabric. You can use, I use this purple one because it's kind of the same stickiness as a standard mat by now. But if you are using if your strong grip purple mat is still strong grip, you don't want to use it. So use the green mat for this. You will apply your vinyl face down, so shiny side down, matte side up. So for that holographic, for example, I put the purple side down, the shiny purple side. For the white, it was the shiny white side face down, and you'll load it in the top corner. Guess I shouldn't have put that away. You'll load it starting here in this top corner. This is the top that you'll feed into your machine. That's why that little hook is there. It's not just to hang it, it's to show you. It's like an arrow. It's the little things that they don't tell you about, right? So you'll put it in the top corner, and then that's how you load it. Once you've got it down, I like to take my hand across the back side of it, make sure there's no air bubbles or anything like that, and then you'll load it into your Cricut. You'll hit the little arrows that are pointing up and down. This is all prompting you on in your design space as well. When it is all loaded, you'll see the little Cricut logo start flashing. You'll push that button, it'll cut. When it's done, you'll pull it out and you'll peel away or weed the negative sides, and then your decal is ready. Once your decal is ready, you need to get your shirt ready. And that is where I left off. I did not get my shirt ready because I wanted to show you my tips and tricks. Also, when weeding, use a bright pad or a light of some sorts. Some of this stuff is really hard to tell what's what, and you don't want to weed out the good stuff. And if you do with HTV, it's really easy to fix. We'll get on that at a different time. But when weeding, just pay very close attention. Do not go fast. Take your time. Be patient if you can. All right, so for my shirt, I have a size medium here. And what I like to do is I give it a good shake, get any fuzzies off of it, and then I take the two seams for the sleeves and I fold it in half, just like you would if you're folding a shirt at home or for laundry. But what I do is I verify that the seams are inside or outside, not one in, one out. That just makes the shirt more aligned. And then I take my fingers down the side here, maybe, and I give another little shake, kind of flatten out any wrinkles. But you can see that's pretty darn even. And the reason being for this is I'm going to put it in my press just like this. Or if you have an easy press, you'll just lay it on the thing and press the center there. So I really need to get my pressing table back. That was really safe, guys. Sorry. Push this back a little bit. So I've got my press preheated here. I'm just going to pull this out a little bit right now. I'll fix it in a minute. But I've got my center line going there. I'm going to put this right on the edge, making sure that I continue to keep that center line. And then flatten it out and make sure that there's no wrinkles at all. And then I'm just going to push it back in. And then give it just a quick press. Like that. Give it just a couple of seconds. Let it do its thing. Ow. And then I'll lift it. Pull it back out. I'll fix it all in a minute. So what that did is that creates a center line. Now, I like to have another center line. So I like to have kind of a T. So what I do is I grab the armpits right at the seams. So right where the two sleeves meet, or the sleeve meets the shirt, and I just fold it across here, and I do the exact same thing. So pit to pit, sorry I covered my face. You probably didn't hear what I said. Pit to pit under each sleeve, making sure that it's pretty straight. And then you do the same thing. You just lay it flat. Check it for wrinkles. Give it a good press. And then you're ready to put your decal onto your shirt. So what that does is that creates a good T. I have my camera up too high and I'm too short, so whatever. Now you have a good center line. Maybe if I scoot back, there you go. So now you have a good center line of where you can place your decal. And it's super easy to place your decal on it. So I have my decal over here and I have a space for my shirt. No sticky stuff on the shirt, no fabric laying around, nothing like that. And I can go ahead and put that on. So we're just going to scoot this back just a little bit more so that I can pull this out and still turn this just a little bit. So normally I have a table with my heat press on it and I have more space to work with, so I will swing the arm away, pull the plate out, and then put my shirt on and my decal on top of that, which is what I highly recommend you doing. But I don't have that today, so we are just going to take this mat here, and I'm going to put it right here, and then I'm going to take my shirt, put it right in the center. So where I want to put my decal is where I'm going to put the shirt onto this little rubber thing. So that's about... This is what's going to be pressed, this area right here. So that's where I'm going to put my decal. I typically put my shirt decals 2 to 3 inches below the collar line. So below the neckline right here, 2 to 3 inches. All right, so I'll go ahead and set that here. Make sure that I got it centered there, but that's why I have that T. We're gonna go ahead and follow that center line there. Make sure that it's straight. Flatten it out. Make sure it didn't shift any when I was doing it. So normally what I recommend is if you have 2 colors, if you did what I did, which you shouldn't have because you're a beginner and I told you not to, but if you did, if you're a rebel like I am, typically you would press the holographic, and then you would press the normal HTV. But I have my press set at 300, so it's all gonna work. The holographic, I believe, is a cool peel. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's a cool peel, so I can just peel it all off at the same time. Now, if you were using glitter, that's a warm peel, so you have to peel that off as soon as it comes off of the press, or right after it cools down a little bit so you don't burn your fingers. All right, enough chit chat. Let's get this show on the road. All right, so getting the shirt onto the press, making sure that it's straight and flat and no wrinklies. All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And now, I'm gonna slide it under, make sure that it's straight, and then we're going to press it. So make sure that it's straight, make sure there are no wrinkles on your shirt, and then push it under the press if you have one of these. If you don't and you have an easy press, just make sure the surface that you are pressing on is hard and flat. Otherwise, you're not gonna get enough pressure and it's not gonna work very well. So if you're using one of these, I have to hold this down because it's broken on me a few times. So bear with me because I can't push this down with this arm because I'm a mess. But, so I have my press set at 300. You can do it at 275 or 300, whatever you're more comfortable with. And I have it set for 30 seconds. If you're using an easy press, same thing. You have a timer on there, 30 seconds. You'll press as hard as you can onto that shirt without moving it. And for 30 seconds. When it's done, you'll lift the press off, put it to the side, and let your shirt cool just a little bit so that you can remove the transfer. All right. So before I go pulling all of this out, I always do a quality check first. So I will peel up just a tiny bit, and it looks like it's good. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my press. That way it cools off and I don't burn myself. And I'm gonna slide this off. You don't have to do this part. I just wanna be able to not burn myself. So I'm gonna put this right here. And when you go to peel it, no I'm not because it's gonna fall. Put this right here. And when you go to peel it, I always start from the corner and I hold down onto the fabric of the shirt and just peel. All right, there we go. And then this way you don't get any stretching of either the shirt or the vinyl. So you just hold down right in front or on top of wherever you are peeling. All right, so a few things that you want to look for after you have pressed your shirt are, so you want to go over each and every corner, like every little corner, to make sure that your nails don't catch. If your nails catch, their nails will catch, and that won't be pretty. Also, if your nails catch, what's going to happen is they put it in the washer, it's going to peel right off. So if your nail catches, put it back under the press and press harder. The more pressure, the better. That is why I switched to one of those, because I can't get my body weight onto that without hurting my shoulder. So I gotta press. Easy press is great, but I just couldn't do it. So yeah, you go over every corner, try to peel it up. And if it peels up, that means that it's not good. Another way that you can tell if it's been pressed really well is, you can't see it in this because it's so tiny, but you can typically see the grain of the fabric in the vinyl once you pull it off. So here I have a tiny, tiny little wrinkle, and I think that that was from where the mask kind of wrinkled on top of it, but you can't really see it unless you're on it. So it's not that big of a deal. Though the person that's getting the shirt's probably gonna watch it. So you just want to look for any type of snagging from the vinyl, and this is good. It's not catching on anything at all. If it does, what I'll do is I'll put it back on the press. I'll put the mask back on top of it. Remember to mask. Remember to mask. Because if you don't, it's gonna melt onto your press and it's not pretty. It's very difficult to get out. So this is your finished product. Woohoo! So fun, right? Fun, fun, fun. I love it. T-shirts are the easiest thing to make once you get the hang of it. Once you get the hang of it, you can do lots of layering. You can do print and cut. You can do infusible inks, sublimation, screen printing. Possibilities are endless, and people love T-shirts with funny sayings on them. So it's a good thing. Anyways. That, my friends, is how you make a t-shirt as a beginner. Now, go out there, do your t-shirt thing, but first, subscribe. That way you can see all of my videos whenever I post them, and you always know when I am on, and you can learn more with me. I love teaching you, and I bet you love learning all this stuff, because it just gets those gears running. I know it does for me. If I see somebody else do something, I'm like, oh, I gotta try that. Or, oh, I don't know if I can do that. And then they do it and I'm just like, okay, I got this. Anyways, so yes, subscribe, hit the alert. That way you get a notification when I'm on. And then you definitely know when I'm on. And that's all I got for you today. Go make a shirt. Tell me how it goes. Drop a comment. Tell me how it goes. If you failed, tell me how you failed and I'll tell you how to fix it. That's what I do. And until next time, we'll see you later.